Because we thought it was going to be a really interesting project to work together, because a lot of times we worked alone on projects and we kind of wanted to see how we could feed off of each other and learn from each other and help each
And
other.
besides that, we're really good friends, so it would make sense for us to work to do a project together. Yeah, it was. Well, we're still friends. We never really had a battle.
Argument. We
Yeah.
agreed a lot. Because our chemistry teacher would tell us about how a lot of times best friends would work on projects together and become enemies after, because one person would do more work than the other one. But with us, we were really interested in the project in equal amounts, so we wanted to do an
Yeah.
equal amount of work.
We both did an equal amount. Like, I kind of really wanted to do more of the experimental, and she kind of really wanted to do
more
like
of
the
the
writing
research.
and the research. So we divided it up that way. Okay. Well, we both eat cereal a lot, and we're really interested on like with kids and stuff. And since kids eat cereal, it's really important for them to be healthy and stuff. And iron's a big part of cereal. So we both kind of thought about it, and we're like, well, cereal, children, iron. So we all put it together and came up with the project.
Our hypothesis is that we believe high-priced cereal have more iron, and that was correct. High-priced cereal do have more iron. And we were also trying to test if companies were faithful to their words, if companies really had as much iron as they said they had iron in cereal and
Yeah.
stuff. So we had a lot of issues with the project, pretty much finding how we were going to measure the iron, because there were a lot of things that we wanted to use. We ended up using a beaker, but at first we were going to use a blender, and we couldn't use a blender.
Yeah.
Because
We couldn't use the blender because when on the bottom of the blender, you know how it's the metal. You couldn't really see the iron there, and the iron wasn't gonna stick to it. It was gonna stay below, and you couldn't really see how much iron was it compared to the way we did it with the stirrer rod. We could see exactly how much iron it had.
So we ended up instead using this beaker and adding 40 milliliters of water to it, and then we put a magnetic stirrer in it, and then the iron in the cereal attracted to the magnetic stirrer, and that's how we saw how much
Yeah.
cereal was in it. Okay, I get it. Okay. So pretty much what had happened was we had an issue, and we each had different plans of how we wanted to do the project, because there was more than one way of doing it. And she had one idea in mind, and I had another idea.
So my idea, the way I thought about my idea, I said, oh, maybe we can do it in the lab and see how that works. And she thought about using the blender, and we kind of decided, well, since her idea didn't work, we kind of went with our idea, and it worked. Some of them said that they had more than they really do of iron, say they had a higher iron amount, which is not true. But I mean, some cereals did have what they said they had.
Because some cereals had more, like it went from the most milligrams to the least milligrams, so we could tell which ones were correct just by the sight of which ones had more milligram than they said they did.
Yeah, like seeing more or less. Yeah, it's a percent of our grade. Science fair in our school, we're really science oriented, and health. Our school is really health oriented. So the science fair project went into our grade. It counted as a big part.
It's mandatory. If you don't do a science project, you fail science.
Yeah.
We had to do this project, and even if we didn't have to, I still enjoyed doing this project. I got to learn a lot about iron.
Because the fact that we got to choose our own project, it made it good for us, and we got to choose something that was interesting to us in a project that we would enjoy doing. So the fact that, it wasn't that they gave us a project, we actually got to choose one and made it better. Well, actually, my parents didn't help me on the project. We kind of really just did it between each other and our teacher. But when it comes to giving advice, the parents just be available for the kids if the kids need them.